The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a comprehensive set of standards for electrical wiring and safety. It's updated every 3 years to incorporate new technologies, address emerging safety concerns, and refine existing regulations. One important aspect of the NEC is its requirements for the placement of receptacles, commonly known as outlets, in residential buildings. The rule stating that receptacles should be located so that no point along the floor line in any wall space 2 feet wide or wider is more than 6 feet from an outlet in its space is found in NEC section 210.52. This specific requirement wasn't always part of the NEC. In fact, it was introduced in the 1978 edition. What this means is that homes built before 1978 were constructed under different versions of the NEC, versions that did not include this 6-foot spacing rule. It's important to understand that electrical codes evolve over time, and buildings are generally compliant with the codes in effect at the time of their construction. It's not necessarily a violation of any code to have an older home with receptacle spacing greater than 6 feet. These homes were built to the standards that were in place when they were originally wired. However, there are several reasons why someone might consider updating the electrical system in an older home to meet current code requirements. Firstly, convenience. Modern life involves a lot more electronic devices than it did in the past. Having more readily available outlets can reduce the reliance on extension cords, which can be a safety hazard if used improperly. Secondly, safety. While an older home might have been compliant with the codes of its time, those codes may not have addressed certain safety concerns that are now well understood. Bringing the electrical system up to current code can improve overall safety and reduce the risk of electrical fires or shocks. Thirdly, home value. Updating the electrical system can increase the value of a home, especially if it's being prepared for sale. Potential buyers often look for homes with modern amenities and updated safety features. If you're considering updating the electrical system in an older home, it's always best to consult with a qualified and licensed electrician. An electrician can assess the existing wiring, identify any potential hazards, and recommend the best course of action for bringing the system up to code. Here are some additional points to consider regarding electrical codes in older homes. Firstly, grandfathering. Electrical codes generally allow existing installations to remain in place even if they don't meet the requirements of the current code, as long as they were compliant with the code in effect at the time of installation. This is often referred to as grandfathering. However, if you make significant alterations or additions to the electrical system, you may be required to bring the entire system up to current code. Secondly, local amendments. It's important to note that local jurisdictions may have their own amendments to the NEC. These amendments can be more stringent than the NEC itself, so it's always a good idea to check with the local building department to see what requirements apply in this specific area. Thirdly, insurance requirements. Some insurance companies may have specific requirements for electrical systems in older homes. They may require an inspection or upgrades to meet certain safety standards. Fourthly, knob and tube wiring. Many older homes, particularly those built before the 1940s, may have knob and tube wiring. This type of wiring is generally considered to be outdated and potentially hazardous. It's often recommended to replace knob and tube wiring with modern wiring. Fifthly, ungrounded outlets. Another common issue in older homes is the presence of ungrounded outlets. These outlets only have 2 slots and do not provide a path for electrical current to safely return to the ground in the event of a fault. It's generally recommended to replace ungrounded outlets with grounded outlets or to install ground fault circuit interrupter or GFCI protection. GFCIs are devices that can detect even small amounts of current leakage and quickly shut off the power to prevent electrical shock. Sixthly, aluminum wiring. Some homes built in the 1960s and 1970s may have aluminum wiring. Aluminum wiring is more prone to corrosion and overheating than copper wiring. If you have aluminum wiring in your home, it's important to have it inspected by a qualified electrician and take steps to mitigate the risks. This might involve installing special connectors or replacing the aluminum wiring with copper wiring. Seventhly, panel upgrades. The electrical panel is the heart of the electrical system. In older homes, the electrical panel may be undersized or outdated. Upgrading the electrical panel can provide more capacity for modern appliances and improve the overall safety of the system. Eighthly, lighting fixtures. Older homes may have lighting fixtures that are not energy efficient or that do not meet current safety standards. Replacing old lighting fixtures with new, energy-efficient fixtures can save money on electricity bills and improve the look of the home. Ninthly, surge protection. Surge protection devices can protect electronic equipment from damage caused by power surges. It's a good idea to install surge protection devices at the electrical panel and at individual outlets. Tenthly, arc fault circuit interrupters, or ASIs. ASIs are devices that can detect arc faults, which are a common cause of electrical fires. ASIs are now required in many areas of the home, including bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. In conclusion, while homes built before 1978 may not have been required to meet the current 6-foot receptacle spacing rule, there are many good reasons to consider updating the electrical system in an older home. Upgrading the electrical system can improve convenience, safety, and home value. Always consult with a qualified and licensed electrician to assess the existing wiring and recommend the best course of action. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous and should only be performed by qualified professionals.